back from the break to break my back. So after a 3-week leave period, we definitely are back to leave a mark. Thanks to Mrs. Oparijan for hosting the show in my stead. And thank you for making time to join us for this episode. We definitely are seated for a riveting discussion. Today, music icon Rocky Dawuni joins me on this episode. I am Benefo Boabin Abrantipa, and this is Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV. All right, so thanks for joining us. It's Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV. My guests are seated. Nani Aredu is with oneplayafrica.com. Wajina Tade, black on black. Nana, yeah, fine.
Nanya Dumbokon, a week in the DJ advice birthday.
Oh, okay.
Intina, Mama share a black no son.
May he so continue to rest.
I'm Madame Papa, I'm in Abobra.
Advice I didn't know any pa.
Yeah.
Any papa.
Yeah.
But apart from that, be okay.
Unyamiadum, see, I'm to say, I say, we are working on some new projects in Tamani personal, but apart from that,
be fine.
Namefenema.
Why the rich Moabuatin is a columnist, and why the did birthday, no miniha. Me who saw church on him, I say, oh, I did death. So abaso biaso said the and the why they fine.
I didn't know
Abele walls.
Abele biaso.
Hey, so mommy. And you say what me Kenya. So mommy.
Abele tiadenzo.
Biaso.
Hey, so mommy.
Now the toothbrush name. Boy.
What is that? Abele di binzo or higher so could be any shame.
So
those days, would you now they choose?
Would they choose? Only say downing in a bit
now there.
Oh dear, and it's the form of my chili pan.
I'm a brother is on standby with Nkomo.
Ye rabusum fufu munze pink October wache ma me wokroma mun check ni nfu na munze bibia ye okay na ma boni se ohumi wa na num se nkoma ekoso entertainment industry na atese ma boa no amahyehyam na besum ti we de ye nse me kwa ma ye ntwa ye ho na ye fa ne ekọ embesum asa ya hye nkoma na se de ne na ye broadcaster na ba na mo ha na asem na ye mfendi kan no na we Twitter na watwia na yi ni nkofo wo follow ni bi sane so na ba we de ye wa asem bisa we enye ntokwa be se bisa o se wo serious boyfriend and a boyfriend serious and wo bi na ba kire ma oh ono de o date alright but say dogrom has also go to me date you no ni planning date but onim so ni pa no date ni de o taking it serious and about one side and kase we no ni dating still I ni mo ni pa ko ni date na ba hu sem ya eye actress edusa for I don't go bitters eye ono no ye advert so person hu ni pa ya making ya ona na watchi your din sem bia beto just say na watchi bia violence obetumi atena be no bia kokko fan sem no de be before nsem bia say dan nkofo chema ntwasu eye edusa for chema ye na ba na mo ne boy tese otare ne boy hu bare o why ne kura nyi nkofo say na wono ti pay do nyese wukuno boy na oba beku ochima boy no kofeni na do yende ncheda wozo ye businessman bi I suffer actually mama sanso akase range over na battery kwa onu na boy na toman na twama funsu mo say na ban stay away from the boy hu na woku hu when stay away be releasing new photos ye be cause so one arresting cause or threaten ye na do yin sem de bebre ba ye ni di echi se na be ko bia de komo nyina e ba besum gospel musician Celestine Donko no so de nsem bia betojo chema ono ne maame tama ne maame fa ye funu no ano onyem no ne maame ye na agitan ko obeyi obeyi nyinse negu na so nyame nchaade obubugu ho o chema tama ne maame hu se onyem no na we di 5 months asa ne maame hu se onyem ye Celestine no ne je ko hu ye edusifu bi ho se anka won bo anka won ye herbalist Phoebe. No edi kan ko no ho chema wo abafa na oda oyem ne de so wo ye hu ubo hu mu so obeyi na ubewu but wan fa anya asem no sanso ko hu second one de odeshi na ejo mix edu kakra bi ma no odi kan ya na Celestine chire ma ye tama 5 months na ne ma menyim na ne ma me bubugu ho kosi so di 9 months oh yes oba be wo no ansa na ma me sorry so chema no de ye miracle baby ankasa wan so ne be ya ade Celestine don ko de wani nyoma ye gospel music ya oboy wa inspire ko fu bebre nti wa bo ne be ya ade se mo pe nyina na ba abotu bo mpa na ono no ba be ye wo hira na oba be bo but pressure nti we di ko fe chema ka so wa wo bebre o de yes ade wo be kyerɛ na akɔkɔyɛ sɛ krom ha Ghana ha ye we I say da sori bia ye beti sɛ wo so onyumtuni bia na asi ni twani bi ne ho akyerɛ no who's a veteran for one wa bɛbɔ bra wo atwam de bia na wa ba sɛ o say na ekoso but ɛyɛ nyumtuni kumigita de nsɛm bi atudwa twema ɔno ankaza sɛ ɔyɛ nyumtuni high life musician osuro ai oda on sɛ danda cause and now what to say you want edikanfo yi obi sɛ ne ho akyerɛ no na we ya buagugo na afede wa akɔkɔyɛ donation no twema system na enye adwuma no ai bi wo hɔ no ma ɔbɔ bra but onua obɛbɔ bra ka hia na wobetua wobetumi ese bi alright ka say bia do check how far but the system ni adwuma sɛ nka wote hɔ yi whilst you are not working na nka adwuma na nka unya ho fa so a anka nya sɛ nkofo bi brɛ kumigita no sanso twema ono sometimes kwa odwe ho na ye say na music yi onja ya na so onto aso cause ono so abusu obehwe but system ni enye adwuma na say wobɛsan woni mfifiri a show na say ebia CDs na say bibi a beton na benya ho fa so dia na wo kɔ ya na say wo ba kumigita no sanso de nsɛm bi atodwa twema entertainers e wo krom ha say about 98% of them omo depressed ai river stage or abe entertain wa atunyo mo movie ba be feel say bia you okay ba ko check ma omo mental health it plays just say omo brankasa but ni nyina achi kofo pay attention to it say wu so osere wo na no say no ane o chere ma won so wo fem ankasa so ye to aso de nyuntini family no de nsem bia betonya nothing I get ai me ni hwe nothing I get o chere ma tama on Ogidi Brown oye adwuma no o signing for 2.5 million Ghana cedis but o chere ma 1 cedi awon abomu tokronia ebi anka ne nsa signing na scanner wo mu na wodi ye music video wodi shoot ni ade but pa se onye bi botare tafred ye we nye bi nti sa asem na ya nkofo ka se o na Ogidi Brown aboa no na oye boni aye ne sese o chere ma scanner de embedi ni side o ya wodi ya ne se wodi ye adwuma but o se ayo onti ase so numtuni bi was ane no record label bia na amafo ye se dia eye record label na ne ho akwakodim but o chere ma ono so ne talent na wodi adwuma o se ne nim fifiri ona na ahode no de tunyom nti aya sa na ya nkofo appreciate eye musicians but o mo ka se o record label fun kwa na wo akwakodim o chere ma anya sa net yes singer Miss Bell na waton krebi se won fama Ghana for merema o chere ma krom ha se ma normalize I be ma cheat dia wo se wa worry o relationship ka wo chere ma mema de wetimi cheat ya ade a ase wo won die ni but onu chere ma sa asem ne mutumi fanfa ne dan echi o se ona wo ho se mu bia mo wo ho no na se wonim na wo fa ne echi onu so be fa wo echi nti wo fa ne echi du onu so be fa wo echi du sa asem na mo ka na mo pese mo se bia obia de enti se ensem fata se obe cheat na wo no berema wo no fa wo echi kwa na ja watena ho sa debi wo fa ne echi du onu so be fa wo echi du
maybe they find the one side me want me baby dada because if you feel say my pussy is for you alone, your dick is for me alone. Oh, no, if you can share no to the no. No, if you can share your dick to have some pleasure. Hello, I want to have some pleasure too. I am talking as a woman.
So yet one common so the na Nigeria ni nyumtuni Joe Boy de ni ache Ghana unso your interviews bi ni ade ma na ode abeto dwakwa ne se Ghana ni person ni yenum ai Black Sheriff ai Killer Blacko kwaku frempon de asembeba o che ma se na ni energy ni sal o feeling na kasante se one ne kasa samante gonti amanfo se bibia source na ebehwe se ebenya Joe Boy and Black Sheriff collabo ana yeka ye Nigeria ni ntuni Joe Boy asemi actor Jim Icon no ni nya che Ghana ni bibio premier wo Ghana ha se na yi no call interview bi na wa ube kai sa Shatawale aka so se Jim Ike ai nsemi de obetu nya ngoza na wo Shatawale wo hefa na wo de se Jim Ike ndi enko bi breche wa but Shatawale so ye fresh boy ana on me nya adwe na ye bisa ni se na Jim Ike what say Shatawale so o se wa na Jim so Shatawale de o ti show business onu aka so ni so on sene but who say Shatawale de obeba na obeka bibi na say we provoking ko fana ko ka say ene de onim ya nkasa nti adwuma na oye woni mbe ya adwe ye fi ahya sene ka o chema on Shatawale mu control ye showbiz industry cause e bia ye beda story bia mafo wo bibika wo ka bibi so say na mafo be so na wa ka na ye blog say so mo na nkofo comment ni nyina na wo de trend nti Shatawale de ni nsem de bebre amafo say na nkomo no ko na wotwe e entertainment industry no seja ma say da ahye na medi na ba besom yo abosom from October but ye de ni duachi se na be ko bia da se na ma broni komo na be ko so bia me da besom ti abrantepa unu abedwafo mu som na mu nto asoman.
Thanks, Amabroni, for the tidbits we call it in Komo. For more of these stories, visit our website www.ghanaweb.com. Omefa Vida and Shase. Na yeah,
a few points. I mean, me fa kumi guitar. Or say ne Dutch no. I be a woman who kakra bono because ejuma or you know who said that she be one share their whole tre ebe. I mean, Odika, because we've seen a lot of artists omunia omumpeni yomo yare ball na fe sikasem no akwakoye basa and it boils down to royalties ni enyomo mfu so umbetimi aya omuntimi enye because aban no emwa na system no en support it. But I've said it time and time again, say we a musician and was so bomodiana now pet or craft be a defo phobia be ya be aside or craft no. My cousin said they should look for a second viable job. I have a 13-pointer point like analysis I made on how artists debate me didi omo craft. As we go along and I'll see say if I have it and then I'll pull it out now my spelling it out one by one. But a few ones I made to me I cannot is you need to get a second viable job I'll be. So maybe there was a ton can what ton I can why at least when you're on sa no. But then almost so no they should check their lifestyle. I've seen Kumi Guitar grant interviews or kase one ma wododo or kwala ahodo and all those things. I mean, when you who say na future and you'll be anything predicting the future. Me sure so kase na nampedu na jiwalaka will end up this way now and come mundi but wo dey what bono nyame abono when your insights no throw to the future and say it might be harder. This is the time I was starting na prepare editor. Another thing I may feel say man kasa and say enyum to adwuma na ne pillar kese pa ye number 1. I mean aside say na oye ne boss oye ne label boss na almost our friendship bia e ma omumienu no mo mukita hudie no cost business wise and friendship wise but otumi wo say ne sibofo atu in the game nipa ananka ojane na so be support no oni hobiem more or less and looking at men's gold issue and even the label no yentimi hu say betimi agina ne nan so biem as
say na
and abofo bi eni ho bofo ba ko bi opie mu so na amane ayeden ato no and it looks as if say onko be didi ne nyom to ho a enye ye bofo so be boa no so ono so atiada na so ono so amane bi amana atiada ntino I feel for him anyway and I recently for me movements be now almost a high life is almost to high life me almost back together to push the band. I don't know how far they went with that though that I have cone or no and all those things, you know. If you can tell say the future is a very bad amount, this is a time that you need to start doing something for yourself.
Nana mami tiwe.
Mesame shout out to Kumi Guitar. He's speaking his truth. Unfortunately, his truth is a reflection of his label and not the whole country. Whether he's been thinking about quitting music, 98% of Ghanaians are not artists are not happy. It's a reflection of his label. I think he's talking to his label. He's not happy. You get it? Kumi Guitar dropped a song with Shatawale, a very beautiful song. And you man, me feel saying it could have been one of the biggest songs I will come and say if the label had done some things or put some things in place. You understand? It would have worked. I don't subscribe to people saying that if you're an artist, I will say, well, yeah, Jumafu for Kahon and Sana. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
A guarantee. And a guarantee I can idea. I'll tell you a secret. Kumi Guitar's label, I approached them and I told them, say, there is a music monitoring system that can give them correct database of whatever they are putting into the music. So if Abatapa publish your song today, you can tell from the database that you can do this thing. You can tell the number of people who have played your song, so you can also determine where your market is, then you can do the promotions there and begin to eat from there. This label told me to send them the analysis and actually they're supposed to pay for it. 150. I never heard from them till now. I sent them the first document. I actually sent them Kumi Guitar's own and everything. Do you get what I'm trying to say? The system is not working. The system of royalties and understanding even royalties and all that is not working in Ghana. So it's not as if say they be a system in any juma. and into 98% of Ghanaians artists are sad. No, I don't think so. You get what I'm trying to say? Because the system is not working. You will do a workshop on royalties, bring the very best resource persons, none of them will show up. None. Zero. You get what I'm trying to say? If you're not collecting money from Grammy, what about the DSPs? Even the DSPs, there are 4 types of royalties that you can make. So if you are plugged in properly, you can make something of it. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
If we ask them to come together to solve the Grammy issue, they don't want to come together. There's a group called Alliance for Change.
Yeah.
What haven't they done? Bro, what have they done? They're no money. Workshops upon workshops, educating the people, trying to mobilize even the frontliners like the Triple X, Shatter, Sack, and Stone, and all these guys to come together and push. It's been a challenge. Recently, had Stone was his Papa Nkuma, Honor Papa was Nkuma, and he was talking about how he made 2,000 Ghana cedi kind of thing. After that thing, right? He has gone mute. It's gone back to let me focus on my album. You get what I'm trying to say? So Ghanaian artists, they should stop using older generations as a yardstick to say because this man died. You don't know his account. And all those using Nana Mpedu as a what are they talking about? Check YouTube. Before Nana passed away, his YouTube and everything was fixed properly.
Yeah.
What am I saying? Ebotela is making about 20 to 50 million euros. Yeah. What am I saying? What do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
They should stop using the older generation as a yardstick. We have an opportunity here to fight the system. The government has given us like the bill, the act now, creative arts. Go into it, look at how we can approach the AG and have a conversation. These Alliance guys are doing it all by themselves. All by themselves. If one of the S-Square has even come out to champion for like a month, things will change. Recently, Ejay Abraham was on one platform. He was saying that he was quoted by saying, not quoting him verbatim, but something around the fact that what's happening in Gamro, if it was elsewhere, he should have been fired. It's a video. I can send you the video right now. He should have been fired. Which means nobody is pressuring. A pressure group is doing its best to help fix the system. So I bet to differ. Come on. His label is his problem right now. Because we're dropping new man. Oh, I think I had #1 song in the country. And Kalebo #1 song. And I've had a chat with him personally. I know where he's coming from. But this time I think he's talking to his label. Almost fixing your man to help.
Okay. Diana wanted to come in.
Last week I think we sat here and spoke about Nana Mpedu. And I said not me who ne works be idea put it together like a documentary. After Hano, I've listened to Honorable Minister, Deputy Minister Makope Kumante say he had some of them watchro books more or DSC baby, and one of the sons in a name baby documents now he rightly said free more they should contact Nebano nanka only works now what showing so it's only fair that I put it out because last week I said I haven't seen any anka we could put together, get a documentary and even launch it nanka nipa aquakoshe because or in the style of writing unique. And one thing that we're free munti me musana question why he had to wait till say obe 3 months or one man banner instruction and say on for such quality works na Embra. And I can say before he passed, na YouTube was in order. But I rightly heard Socrates say Sebi uko he fear cry no timwa and I touch him akakra. And he felt 10 company for be beat me about together to help. So kumi linking ne issues or what's the CR to an ampedino and to me yes pepe said they are all cano. But now I won't check a so according to Socrates they may say all cano. Ewo hono man yes maybe na eho ago amano. Now what he needs to do no NSA inti namwani niwa is it that o career about to an end na
it's the label no?
The label no those are the critical issues that he needs to ask himself. So sure there were people like Arnold, Bulldog, Omoko Juan. Now
what happened to
I mean you don't have to tie your talent to one particular label as a niwa. So he must watch it. He needs advice. There are stakeholders in the game. Tell Xylophone that I'm parting my contractor, so I'm parting ways with you. I'm going to chat another path will be to success. And I'm sure if you hit back they can work with you because ufri or with like cordially so he needs to sit with people and onji advice on how to proceed because he's talented.
Right, Kumi Guitar is really talented. That's Vida Educhumwa Boatin. Vida is a columnist. Nania Redu, aka Nania 18, is with oneplayafrica.com. We'll take a break. When we return, we have a conversation with Rocky Dawuni. It's Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV. All right, so welcome. It's Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV. I told you that we're going to have a conversation with music icon Rocky Dawuni. Yeah. And Nansea, he has released a song. We'll come to that. But Rocky,
yes,
thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
It's really an honor to have you on the show.
It's great to be here on a beautiful day like this in Accra, I'm honored to be in your studios, yes.
You are one of the musicians who have long dreadlocks.
Yes.
I don't know, for how long have you been keeping it?
It's very hard to put a time as to, because I usually never measure, how many years, but it's been a while. It's been a long while, and for me, it's something that is so part of who you are and your identity, so it's not even something that you can separate yourself from, so it's a beautiful thing to have. Yes. I
see. What was your mood when the Achimota School decided not to admit a gentleman who had dreadlocks?
I was very disappointed, and I was also at the same time disappointed and then shocked because the thing is that you don't, when it comes to education, education is by your ability to make yourself worthy of being included. So there's a certain threshold of qualification. So if you're able to qualify and you have the right credentials, you are accepted. And by no chance should that a person's look or a person's religion or a person's, shall I say, where, the social structure in which they belong to become a key factor into deciding whether they become part of, an establishment or not. And then when we come to Achimota School is one of the most amazing schools that this country has ever had in terms of producing leaders, and I feel that every country also aspires to be plural, to be open, especially in the modern world that we are in. We are finding that some of the things that we accept, we have to make adjustments because the rest of the world feels a certain way. So we are trying to engage with a certain world. So you have to sometimes culturally adjust in order to engage a changing world. And to judge on something that is so superficial, and something that has to do with, your hair, which is, an African, hairdo. It's not like they put something that changed their hairdo, and to adamantly use that as a means for a school like this to showcase their intolerance, I felt was unfortunate. But I think that, it also offers the opportunity for us to grow. So maybe, the school being confronted with that shows that the school itself need to now come to terms with the variety of people around the world who are all qualified, have the qualification to be part of the school, and the school needs to readjust their ability to be able to embrace such a broad-based, scope of people. So I think that, it was unfortunate, but it gave us opportunity to also discuss it on a national level, and hopefully it will make us push forward in terms of our acceptance.
Right, so that's Rocky Dawuni, music icon. A reminder that the show is sponsored by Cheesy Pizza. Cheesy Pizza has all you want from juicy smoothies, jollof fried rice, spag, and meatballs. We have great deals for you all week round. Cheesy Pizza gives you the McCheesy combo every Monday and Thursday with only 49 cedis. You get small pizza fries, chicken, cola drink at all branches. Tuesdays are Super Tuesdays at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Buy Super Family Pizza at half price every Tuesday for 40 cedis at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Be part of the midweek bonanza every Wednesday. Buy and get one free at all Cheesy Pizza branches. And also remember to start your weekend with special jollof and fried rice from Cheesy Pizza branches every Friday. Call 026-4133-397 to place your order. Cheesy Pizza, your way. Now, Odowara, Odowara. I don't have the best of voice, but I have Odowara, Mihuanajia, Missy Demada.
Yes.
That's when I heard the song, the first thing that came to mind is the palm wine music, the high life.
Yes.
This is authentic Ghanaian music.
Yes.
We know that you do. I mean, yes, you have a couple of high life songs.
A whole lot, actually.
Yes.
It's not couple.
Yes. There's this one, I'm forgetting the title. You want some more?
Oh, yeah. Africa for Land.
Yes.
Africa for Land.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Yes.
Why did you decide to do Wara?
Well, I've always, I grew up in high life. That's what everybody has to know is that, being Ghanaian, high life is synonymous with growing up here. Is the music that has always been part of us. Nanam Pedus and, all the classic, high life musicians. That was the music I was listening to when I was growing up. So although my path took me in terms of embracing a broader global style like reggae music and also other influences that I acquired, the high life music was still a central part of my music, my musical abilities, So, and the people who followed my records to have seen like glimpses of it, and even the record that I did when I did Book of Changes really encompassed a total departure from reggae music where I embraced, Afrobeat, different styles. So with that kind of adventurism in sound, palm wine high life was a matter of time, and I've been a fan of, all the, the originators, the original players, and have listened to, their music, and I follow. So, when I was doing this record too, I wanted to go deep into the culture and really try to show the foundations of the music that is forms the structure of the current popular styles that we are exposing to the rest of the world. So I wanted to go to the fundamentals, and Wara was one of the products of that whole step back.
It's really a nice song, and the video is very nice, classic.
Thank you.
Who shot it?
Slingshot,
Okay.
Slingshot HD. I've collaborated with Slingshot and a whole lot of projects. He was somebody that I really admired. His vision, and also being a Ghanaian director. I had worked with a lot of directors outside in the U.S. and all around. But I also wanted to find a Ghanaian director that I felt had the right eyes and vision. And so we collaborated on a whole lot of other videos, and then we had people like Kerry Sullivan, Elombini, who were also part of the production aspect of the video. It was a very Ghanaian affair because it's a song about Ghana, so it has to be, the authenticity has to be a hallmark of it. And I think that the video did it justice in terms of a love song too, that was steeped in the classic style and at the same time reinterpreting it for the modern times. So it was great.
Are we expecting it to be on an album? Or it's just a single for us to enjoy?
No, it's part of an EP called Voice of Boom Boom Volume 1. So it was a collection of songs that I did, and in between albums I wanted to put out an EP too. And so the EP had, it has like a whole lot of songs. So a lot of people who are, so it's called Voice of Boom Boom Volume 1. You can find it on all the streaming platforms. Wara is the latest single from it, but we put out other videos like Ghost Town, which was, and then also there's another video too that we shot in the north called Beautiful People, and I shot it in my traditional village. So it was also trying to make sure that the visuals also represented where I was from, showed the traditional way of living, the hearts, the happiness, something that we all grew up from. But in our quest to, become a concept of modernization, we kind of sometimes relinquish the traditional ways. And I feel that the traditional ways contain so much knowledge and beauty and identity that we need all of that to be part of our way forward. So the album was, in a way, a Sankofa thing, taking culture, refashioning culture, keeping the authenticity of the African aspect in it, but at the same time presenting it in a contemporary way to show the path to the future.
Right, so let's take a quick break. When we return, we'll delve into so many issues. We want to look at how Rocky Dawuni has been able to remain relevant. In fact, he released his first album 25 years ago, yes, and still, power pa, Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV. We'll be back shortly.
Hi, my name is Nanama McBrown. I'm proud to be part of Ghana Web Road Safety Campaign. Please, do the right thing. Save a life. Brim.
Welcome back. It's Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV. The name is Abrantipa, and I'm hosting the legendary Rocky Dawuni. It's a music icon. In fact, reggae and high life OTM. But even apart from that, we know that Rocky Dawuni is the first Ghanaian to have been nominated for the Grammys. What would you say made it for you to gain the nomination?
I think that, in terms of me, what happened was that, I focused on just increasing my profile in terms of musically, trying to do albums too that I felt were was not following the crowd, albums that I felt could position me in a way that you have an identity and also be noticed, So I was always very interested in pushing the boundaries of the music. And by pushing the boundaries, for me, it was easier because I had my cultural identity of being from here, knowledge of high life music, knowledge of Afrobeats, knowledge of traditional music. So this was all styles that I was fusing into my music. So when I recorded Branches of the Same Tree, Branches of the Same Tree was an album that was a fully realized vision of integrating a lot of global styles and African styles into a contemporary reggae album. So it was a very different sound. So that I believe that was what set me apart. And also, once the buzz started, when the record came out, the record was a very popular record. African Thriller was a huge video. It launched video. I did, a tour, Europe and the US, to support the record. It really had a lot of buzz around it, And then eventually, I think that is also what shifted the scales to within the academy, because it was unlike any reggae album. So all the rest sounded like, straight out reggae album, but that had a very different flavor to it. So it caught the ears of the voting members. And I think that was what eventually made it possible for the nomination to happen, which I'm glad that at least when it comes to, our country, now we've had opportunity to step into that framework and have our country, show up, in the academy in a big way.
As an artist, what does relevance mean to you?
Relevance means staying true to yourself. Relevance means to always build, because the journey as an artist is not always going to be in the same trajectory. You're not going up and up. You're going up, you're going up, you're dipping, you're going up, and that's like life. Even when you look on the stock market, they say, you look at the stock market, that's how it goes. From the people who are making millions and billions and the ones who are making it still the same way, So life it ebbs and flows, So I think that you have to embrace the ability to make records that are not necessarily dictated by the market, trying to stay afloat with popular sounds and all that, and also challenge yourself to do things too that will shake the tree and also create a certain level of shall I say ability to challenge the paradigm and accepted norms, because when you are able to do that, that's when you become relevant, because you can be grouped with the collective, because you establish your own path and your own unique identity. And I think that's what, for me, relevance means.
All right. How difficult or otherwise has it been for you to remain relevant?
I think that the thing is that when every journey comes with challenges. Every journey comes with the trials and tribulations, and every journey comes with, the times when you are stretched to, the limits. The time when you doubt, self-doubt and all of that. They are all part of, life's journey. And I think that when you're a musician, you deal with that. And even a musician deals with that more, because certain musicians always need they always need a limelight for survival and all of that kind of stuff. And I feel that, when you constantly depend on that, then it becomes, when the limelight is kind of dims, then you feel that you are irrelevant. But when you trust in your craft and you are constantly seeking to do new things, and you're constantly excited about new artists that are coming on the scene, and you are learning from them. I always tell people that I learn from the classic artists and I learn from the new artists, So when I hear like, oh wow, a new sound that is popping up in Ghana, a new sound that's popping up in different places, I just go and take my time to learn of the new artists and become a fan of the new artists, So it's not like, I see myself as more relevant than the fresh new artist who's come out. I just learn, and I feel that when you are learning and you're constantly open to embracing new things, you also become, to some extent, aligned with the changes that are happening within the times. And I think that that's what I do, is that I innovate with the times, and the times innovate with me. And so I stay relevant.
I've heard people say, Rocky Dawuni there, outside, the fans do so far, but Ghana, the reception that we give him compared to how he's received out there, there's a huge gap. Do you see that?
People say that, but I don't really see that. I think that a lot of people, there was always the perception that I lived outside. There's been a lot of support, but people thought that I lived outside. So that whole perception of that is something that, because I spent a lot of time outside and I spent a lot of times indoors. But a lot of times, people will say, oh, Rocky lives in LA, Rocky lives in the US. So you are constantly being grouped into as musician who lived outside. And that perception too, we tend to implement that perception when we're doing things here. Even I remember when I was nominated for the Grammy, some people even started trying to argue about it, and I'm just like, you know what, we don't have to look at the gift horse in the mouth. I'm from here, I was born from here, I grew up from here, I went to school here, I did everything here, so, and I'm Ghanaian, so when we have the opportunity for us to have the first Grammy nomination, we should embrace it as a means for something that is a notch for our collective industry, and I use that as an inspiration to expand our reach, globally, because some of us have to go out there, start from here, go out there, go open doors, break doors, get challenged, and then get certain inspiration, then come back again, come connect with here, and you have to keep going and keep up and down and up and down. Some of us had to do that, and it's a lot of sacrifice to do that. You put yourself in that space in order for you to not only elevate your craft, but also elevate the music of your country and of your people. So we have to just see it, that it's not only me working within the world of the diaspora to increase my profile, but I've also constantly kept my presence in Ghana active and been involved with the music here. And so in doing all of that, I think that I am of both worlds, but at the same time too, I am of everywhere. And I think that there's a lot of love here in the country for me, and I live here now, so a lot of people now are getting used to me being on the ground right now. And I think that there's no bigger love than the love of your people. I get love outside, which is great, but the love from Ghanaians for me is the most important love.
You have been able to be in the industry for more than 25 years. I mean, when you released your first album, that was
The Movement.
Yes, 25 years ago, 1996. Yes,
95. I think
right?
97. I'm not sure.
Yeah, thereabouts. Yes. Would you say that the media has been fair to you?
Oh no. I wouldn't say it's about a lot of fairness of the media or anything, and I wouldn't actually even put that onto the media. I mean, the media reflects what your works are. So I will say that I have always focused on constantly doing works, releasing albums, focusing on my work as an activist, my work with the UN, my work in terms of supporting communities, working in different sectors, things that nourish my soul. I've always worked, so I think that when you constantly work, the media has something to say about you, and I never impose a kind of timeline onto what I create. Every creation is a fresh new idea that I put out, and I'm constantly touring. I'm constantly excited about the new styles that are coming. I'm constantly, embracing new sounds and integrating the new sounds into, so I think that once you are dynamic and you don't impose a certain, should I say, expiry date on your craft, then you reflect that, so, I don't think that the media has been fair or not fair to me. The media has just been a reflection of what I have constantly been putting out. They have reacted to that. So when somebody say that, oh, okay, the media has been unfair to somebody because they have not, I don't think that is a relevant perception of my situation. My situation has been that I've always believed in innovation, and I think that innovation is what has kept me constantly going, and constantly the media being present to express that.
Would you say that we've been able to sell our music enough to the world?
I would say that in terms of we have been able to, I would say that we haven't had the investment, the systems, the institutions, the technical, should I say, opportunities and the trained personnel to carry our music over the years to make us impact in the way that we could have. So all I'm saying is that, we've never had big record labels, here. that has been able to be well financed, to be able to nurture talents here, sign talent, and also have a connection to outlets around the world where they could plug an artist right here and be able to. We've never had that. So it's been individual artists who've had to work very hard in terms of being able to bridge those gaps. So it's still a progress. I think it's still an exercise in progress in terms of the potential that we have and maximizing that potential. And I think that we need the industry to be much more well organized. We need the systems of accountability for music that is being played well set up. We need for in terms of artist publishing, artist booking, managers, event organizers, sponsors, national policy, recognition by ministries like tourism and culture to also be a part of this. Like all of these are the different players that form the ecosystem of the music. They all need to work together so that when we push forward with all our strengths behind it. I think that once we're able to engineer that in a very good way, I think the potential of how far we can impact has only just been realized, and we can go very, very far.
A lot of the time when this conversation comes up, there is always that Nigeria-Ghana comparison.
Yes.
Oh, in Nigeria, this thing happens. In Ghana, we don't have it. How do you digest that? Does that make you
I think
feel
that conversation
uncomfortable?
has been so exhausted. It's been exhausted, and I think that we shouldn't compare to. It's like when you're an athlete and you are running a 100-meter race, and you are worried about the other person who's running the other lane. Instead of you focusing on your lane and putting your energy into your strides and focusing. Some of the people who win 100 meters will tell you that they don't even see the other people in the lane. They just see the finish line and they dart and do whatever is possible in their, We can learn a lot from Nigeria, but I think that if we learn, what we learn is for us to focus on our local music and try to make sure that we put our strength and effort to supporting Ghanaian music on air and the radio and all of that, and giving Ghanaian music a very high prominence because that is the music, that's our music. So if we push it, and I'm not saying that we don't need to we need to bring in different styles of music, but since this is Ghana, and the media is served by the elevation of Ghanaian music. And by Ghanaian music, I don't mean that they pick and choose certain artists, over certain artists. If it's good, let's support it all across. And if we do that, then we are able to elevate our own music to have its own identity, to have its own path of success by learning of the strengths of other industries, the Ivorian industry, the Senegalese industry, the other African countries and how they've done it. All of those are case studies for us to learn, but we don't have to be beating our heads on the ground because of, Nigeria has, a bigger population that we do. They have a lot of also certain things that they did that are unique to them, and we have to do things too that are unique to Ghana by focusing wholeheartedly on our strengths and potential and opportunity here, and magnifying that in a strong way. I think we will chart. We've already charted great strides in history and all of that, and we can do more. Yes.
You made mention of the fact that we should project our music more.
Yes.
There's a conversation on having a legislation to for radio stations or for media houses to project a certain amount of local songs.
Yes.
I'm hearing 90%, I'm hearing 80%. People have cited South Africa, it's there and it's helping them and all that. Does it mean you buy into that idea?
You see, the thing is that it would have been great if the media houses you know, and then the radio stations and all the programmers took that as something that they did, you know. So I think that, you know, I'm not a person who believes in people being forced to do certain things. You know, I believe that when a decision comes from the passion and the belief in the philosophy and the ideology of a concept, it makes people do that even with a lot of passion and energy, you know. So I am usually split in between, you know, putting legislation, but you know, we live in a system whereby, to some extent, we need a certain guideline, you know, guideline for, and a certain baseline that we can create and see that this is what is required so that we can protect and support the music that is out of us. As for the percentage, it's not in my, I can't say that percentage, but I think that we could be smart too in creating that sort of policy to put a certain percentage, but at the same time to say that we are trying to get to a certain percentage, but we will implement a certain percentage which is a little bit below that, but we encourage everybody to go to that higher percentage because we don't want to put force, you know, in terms of forcing people to be part of something that we feel that will support all of us. And another thing to focus on that too is that, you know, if we create a scene, music is the source of tourism. Music is the source of expressing our culture. If we have a live, thriving scene here, it supports the businesses here. Hotels, you know, hotels can and businesses cannot function without real music. If you go to all the major capitals of the world that are thriving, there's a vibrant music scene. And those music scenes too, when you go there, artists are able to play, they make a living. People, those establishments too, are able to do good business, to support, give jobs and all of that. So supporting a local scene has like great impact economically. And then also the artists that are from here too are the ambassadors too of our culture, our lifestyle, who we are and our identity. Because when I play in different countries, when I tweet to my followers who are probably in America, or we send like a press release that goes to a lot of outlets that I'm connected to, you know, valuable outlets, you know, they get to hear about my country. A lot of them, not only the interest in me is not only limited to me. They want to know where I come from, where I'm from. Why is this country so important to this person? Then they will research, and then some of them eventually come and visit. There's probably millions and millions of people who, through impact, through concerts, through places, that have probably had the inception of experiencing Ghanaian culture started probably from hearing a song or seeing you on stage or seeing something that you did. And this is to talk about other Ghanaian musicians who are also in that space. So the value added of what music is doing for this cannot be even quantified. It's in the millions and millions of dollars if you want to quantify it, because its impact is not something that is measurable. Because it's something that people feel and something that spurs, and it's an inception that spurs people to come and experience your culture. So if we start seeing all of that, then we start seeing how we all have a role, because the media becomes stronger if you are supporting a scene that all of a sudden the scene is bubbling. The media is able to also make good margins and profitability because you have a thriving musical, cultural, entertainment environment. So we all are stakeholders in the success of this, creating this ecosystem.
Maybe finally, before we go, I mean, after producing songs, remaining relevant, getting all the, enjoying all the hype it comes with, you need to pay bills.
Yes.
There have been issues about royalties.
Yes.
Musicians are not getting their royalties. Those who are getting royalties, they mention the figure, and you see that it's nothing to write home about. Some have actually said it's an insult to receive such an amount of money.
Yes, yes.
Do you get royalties from Gamro?
You know, if I answer that question, it's going to be a headline that it's not going to feed what needs to be done right.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of issues with the system. There's a lot of issues with the system. In terms of being able to log airplay, you know, we don't have a very robust system where we can be able to monitor music that is being consumed. Let's say even in the bars and that kind of stuff, music that is being played, music that is being played on air, all of those things, you know. So the collection systems is in itself, you know, very deficient. Secondly, we don't have a database that connects all of this, and a transparent system that allows all the stakeholders to see what is coming in, whether if anything at all, you know, and how much it is, it is, and who it is for, and you know, so we don't have that. So everything is being done arbitrarily, in my opinion, unless somebody proves me, you know. So I have seen the mudslinging on both sides, you know, and for me, you know, sometimes I think that we spend too much time fighting over an issue rather than trying to sit together and find the fixes for it. And I think the fixes have to be done by upgrading our system. The systems need to be outmoded. Systems need to be upgraded. There needs to be transparency in the organizations that are representing artists, because it looks like there's a cloud of them, you know, because everybody's shocked at how certain figures are coming, you know, so they need to be able to have a certain, you know, be public with how the tabulations are done, and be public with, you know, their, you know, even how they are able to even get, if even any at all, any money is being paid to them, or however that money is, and how they are able to, because if you're not able to document all of those things, it's very hard for you to know that, okay, this artist, you know, had this amount of play everywhere. They had their records, and then they come and then somebody gives them certain thing that is not reflective of that. Obviously, they're not going to be happy about it. And then you have the organizations that will say, oh, you know, so without knowing exactly what is going on, I think there needs to be a national conference of all the stakeholders. All the stakeholders.
On the way forward.
Yeah, it need to be a national conference, all the stakeholders, you know, with people with new ideas. Because there's people with very, very, very great ideas who are also trying to contribute. But the problem here is that sometimes it becomes a battle of personalities, a battle of ego, a battle of individuals, because things spill from being about fixing a system into people attacking the personalities of, you know, people branding other people as this type of person, that type of person, and all of that, you know. So I think that in the long run, we just need a system that works, that will make all of the artists and stakeholders happy. And I feel that through a national conference of the arts of Ghana, by having all the stakeholders come and make a presentation of how they arrive at their numbers and tabulations, and give a certain level of accountability that reflects what is going on, and then the new ideas too that are on the table, and then also we all become also, you know, be able to see the new ideas too that are around that can help those, and the personalities too who have those new ideas, and how they can all be able to help so that we evolve new systems, because the current systems are not working and are not making anybody happy.
Nice one. That's Rocky Dawuni, music icon. reggae high life, and of course, the first Ghanaian to have had the Grammy nomination. You mentioned your EP. The EP is coming out.
Yeah, Voice of Boombo.
What's the meaning? Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
you know, so because it's something that, you know, the philosophy is to let everybody know that we all have origins, and where you are from, be happy. Celebrate your Africanness, celebrate your identity, celebrate your village, celebrate your people, celebrate your language, your food, your culture, you know, because that's our identity. So I did that by using the title of my village where I come from, you know, as, you know, something to express my individuality at the same time too, as a means to challenge my audiences for everybody to, you know, go to your grandmother in the village, you know, go and connect and eat the village food, go to the farms.
How often do you go to your hometown?
All the time.
All the time?
Yeah, all the time.
I see.
And, you know, I have my own farm and stuff and all of that, you know, I'm into farming and agriculture and all of that stuff. So I feel that, you know, we all need to embrace all of that because the youth of this country are the future of this country. And the youth need to be equip themselves with the ability to initiate their own livelihoods. And by livelihoods, I mean that we have to be able to take the land and be able to transform the land into wealth for ourselves. And I think that that mindset is something that really we need because people are talking about jobs. Meanwhile, we are a country with a lot of land that is laying. We just need the brains and the mindset to be able to transform the people who are going to transform that into our national development. Every country has the basis of agriculture as the base. People, the millionaires of those countries, in all of this are all farmers in agriculture. So we need to redefine what being a farmer means. You can still be young and hip and cool and still have farms and be in agriculture.
Right. So the EP is coming out on which day?
No, the EP is out.
It's out already?
The EP is out.
Okay.
Yeah, the EP is out.
Okay.
And then Wara is a new video that we just launched.
Released.
Yeah, from the
Okay.
EP. Yes.
Why me the pa? Why me the pa? Odowara, Odowara. Oh, sing with me, Odowara.
Me wana jia, me si de mada.
Insuneri
Toy, me to me kanamabo. Odo me huwa, we diana juwe, me si de mada. And from an eri boy, Chimerika me hunamabo. Odo me huwa, we diana juwe, me si de mada. And unchiwara, oh. Yeah, you know, so it's about love, the simplest thing that brings us all together. Exactly. And needing each other.
That's Rocky Dawuni, music icon. It's been a very insightful interview. I'm sure we've learned a lot. It's not easy to have Rocky Dawuni on your show, and he's very deep. First Ghanaian to have been nominated for the Grammys. A reminder that the show is brought to you by Cheesy Pizza. Cheesy Pizza has all you want, from juicy smoothies, jollof fried rice, spag and meatballs. We have great news for you all week round. Cheesy Pizza gives you the McCheesy combo every Monday and Thursday. With only 49 cedis, you get one small pizza, fries and chicken, one cola drink at all branches. Tuesdays are Super Tuesdays at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Buy your Super Family Pizza at half price every Tuesday for 40 cedis at all Cheesy Pizza branches. Be part of the midweek bonanza every Wednesday. Buy and get one free at all Cheesy Pizza branches. And also remember to start your weekend with special jollof and fried rice from Cheesy Pizza branches every Friday. Call 026-1333-97 to place your order. Cheesy Pizza, your way. We are taking a break. When we return, we do the final lap of the show. It's Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV. Welcome back. It's Bloggers Forum on Ghana Web TV, the final lap. My name is Abrantepa. I have with me here Brother Yauda. I hope I got it right.
Yes.
Brother Yauda.
Exactly.
I see. So you are a music group.
Right.
What's Brother Yauda? What's the name about? How did you come by the name?
It's Tuesday and Thursday.
Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah.
Ebenada Yawada.
Yeah.
Simply the days we were born.
So who was born on Ebenada? Who was born on Yawada?
I was born on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And Thursday.
And Thursday.
So brother.
Brother Yauda.
Right.
Yeah, Semu. No, but it's creative. I mean, I like the name. How did you meet?
So I mean, we are people who grew up from the same hood. Like, I mean, went to the same school. Like, everything we did from childhood to today has been like that now. Like, when my mom is looking for me in Yauda's house, when Yauda's mom is looking for him in my house. So we are like people who did basically everything together. They wanted to separate us, but nah.
You're inseparable. I see. So, Yao, right?
Yeah.
In the group, you are called Yao.
Yes.
Is that the name?
Yes.
Okay.
Yauda.
And then
Yauda.
Yauda.
Right.
And you are
Brother.
Yauda, brother.
Right.
Okay. So, how long have you been together as a group?
I would say we started 2012, but we decided to go pro. That's around 2018. Yeah.
Okay.
Till now.
All right.
So basically, let's say.
Right.
2012, 2021. There. That's
2021 is 9 years.
9 years.
Right.
I see. And you have just released a song.
Yeah.
What's the title?
So we have this new song, which is just a week and a half old. You know, so tomorrow is going to be 2 weeks.
Okay.
So the title is Godo Godo. Godo Godo.
So, Brother Yauda and Godo Godo.
Yes. So the word is Godo Godo, G-O-D-O, G-O-D-O, Godo Godo. Godo Godo simply means by all means.
What language is that?
It's an Ewe language.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I think a lot of people say Godo Godo, like, Charlie, the thing we do there, Godo Godo, it means it's going to happen.
Oh,
by
really?
all means, yeah, definitely.
Give me a performance of the song. Sing something for make I hear.
So we dey hustle every day. One day he go rain. We go scatter everywhere someday. We no go work in vain. Never, never, never. Oh, ah oh, ah oh, ah oh. We go win. Oh, godo, 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 la 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 la. Godo, 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 la 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 la. Godo, 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 la 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 la. Godo, 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 la 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 la. And we go see that dollar face, we go count dollar giant. Enemies go shame, we go build them machine. Fly mama to California, papa to Korea. Ah oh, ah oh, ah oh.
Interesting. Godo Godo.
Right.
I see. So are you doing everything all by yourself, or you are under a management team?
So we
A record label, if I should put it that way, yeah.
So we're currently surrounded with people who believe in us.
Okay.
So we have this umbrella called Blemakadi Music. Why Blemakadi? Blemakadi because we come from backgrounds where our parents, our great-grandparents were musicians. Their grandparents composed songs for choirs. My grandparents were pioneers of the Bobobo sound. I'm sure you've heard about it. So we believe it's a generational thing. We believe we are under that umbrella. Blemakadi simply means ancient light. So the light of the past is shining on us. So that is the meaning of Blemakadi. So Blemakadi music. So that's the umbrella we find ourselves in, and it's surrounded with people who believe in what we are doing right now, believing that these guys are great guys, we should push. So that's basically, so everything is on us.
I see. Right. So that's Brother Yauda. They are out with a new song, Godo Godo.
Right.
Go check it out. You just heard our interview with them. Before this, Nana Yauridu with OnePlayAfrica.com and Vida Educhuma Boatin were on the show to help me dissect the Tidbits segment that was presented by Amma Bruni. We also had Rocky Dawuni, who is a music icon, the first Ghanaian to have been nominated for the Grammy Awards, also graced the show. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Bloggers Forum. We'll be back some other time with yet another riveting discussion. I am Benefo Boabin Abrantipa.